بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله وسلم على سيدنا محمد خاتم الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to the Hikam of Imam Ibn Ata'Allah. We're reaching now around the 68th or so Hikam. And this section actually is talking about the etiquette of emergent religiosity coupled with the etiquette of recognizing Allah's blessings in our life. Like how do we treat those things? How do we engage those things? How do we protect ourselves? And also, how are we careful? Because others around us, charlatans, and sometimes people put on a kind of a spiritual aura, and so on and so forth. Like, how do we protect ourselves and our family from those things? So that's what he's going to talk about now, with the focus primarily being upon us as individuals. And the first one is that moments of guidance and moments of spiritual bliss are not something we can achieve. They're gifts from Allah. We can work hard for them and we can push into them, and we'll talk later on about what is that sign, because unfortunately in an age of hyper-consumerism where individual pleasure is the focal point of society, people have sort of reduced religion to shallow moments of feeling. Like, I feel like this, I feel like that, I feel like this. Oh, I didn't feel this. Oh, I didn't feel like that. In Islam, that's not how we define this. We define being near Allah is worshiping Allah. For worshiping Allah, alhamdulillah, then that's sufficient. We don't have to have a feeling. It's something very selfish, right? But in Islam, remember this: it's not transactional. In the hereafter, it'll be transactional. We'll be rewarded with Jannah bi'idhnillah and Allah's maghfirah and ridwan. But in this world, we don't locate religious work and practices and righteousness as a contract in the sense of transactionally. I want to do this, so Allah will do this. Because that also leads to fakers, man. People that have made sort of Sufism into like a passion. They've made it like how they look, how they dress, how they act. That's not what this is about, man. That's a reductionism that's simplistic. It's myopic, and it fails to take into account the dynamics of people's growth and where people are coming from. So the Shaykh, he says, rahimahullah, قَلَّمَا تَأْتِي الْوَارِدَةُ الْإِلَهِيَّةُ. Al-warida, warada here means like things that run. Yagri. So al-warida al-ilahiyya are those things that we find sometimes, those feelings in our heart and in our soul that are encouraging us to do good. And Sayyidina Shaykh Ibn Ajiba, he mentions here, that Imam al-Qushayri, rahimahullah, says, al-warid huwa ma yaridu ala al-qalbi min al-khawatiri al-mahmudati mimma la yakunu lil-abdi fihi ta'ammaru. That al-warida is something that comes to the soul of a person, the heart of a person, means of inspiration that is beyond our control. So they are from the fadl of Allah. ذَلِكَ فَضْلُ اللَّهِ يُؤْتِيهِ مَن يَشَاءُ. So the blessing of Allah, He gives who He wants. Simply put, the call to guidance, the call to worship, the feeling to be a better person, the feeling that draws me to being more responsible, living for the hereafter, those are all al-waridat. It's not something like weird and spooky. La ya shaykh. يدعوك إلى الله, يدعوك إلى الإسلام, يدعوك إلى الخير. What's calling you to good, what's calling you to goodness, khair, and those kind of things. I need to get my life together. I need to, put things in order. That experience, that epiphany, is from the waridat. Al-Shaykh Abdul Qadir Al-Jailani, نفعل الله تعالى بذكره, he talked about al-waridat, and he said, because maybe someone wants to ask like that, how do I know if it's from Allah? How do I know if it's from shaitan? I have these different feelings. How do I know? Any feeling that we have, first of all, as Imam al-Muhasibi talks about, we should present it to the Sharia and see what the Sharia has to say about it. Khalas, that's the first thing. So we weigh it, mizan al-shar. And then be mizan al-aqal, and use your mind. If someone's telling you, for example, give me your house and give me your wealth and all of this, and you'll be nearer to Allah. Use your brain. Use your mind. Don't allow yourself to be exploited. Use discernment. Nobody is above being subjected to critical thought, right, within our spaces. No sheikh, no imam, no teacher, no peer, sahab, whatever. No. Everybody taht an-nasiha. Everybody's under sincere advice and scrutiny. So Shaykh Abdul Qadir al-Jilani rahimahullah says, Sifati al-waridati ilahiyya. What is the difference between them and shaitanic inspirations? فقال الوارد الإلهي لا يأتي باستعداد. Number one is that al-warida from Allah, those good feelings and inspirations from Allah are beyond our control. You can't like prepare for them. You can't do something that makes them happy. They're gifts from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَلَا يَذْهَبُ بِسَبَبٍ. And you can also not make them stop. Like there's no cause that you can invoke that will make those stop. كُلُّ مِنَ اللَّهِ. وَلَا يَأْتِي عَلَى نَمَطٍ وَاحِدٍ وَلَا فِي وَقْتٍ وَاحِدٍ. There's not something that like a specific time or situation that you can make them happen. Meaning it's all from Allah. وَاللَّهُ عَلَى كُلِّ شَيْءٍ قَدِيرٌ. وَطَارِقُ الشَّيْطَانِ بِخِلَافِ ذَلِكَ غَالِبًا. And the opposite of that, something that you can make happen, something that you try to cause to come into play, something that you attribute to something other than Allah, or you can make it come or go, that's from shaitan. That's a little ambiguous with respect to the shaykh. Let's frame it in a more simple way. Whatever goes against the Sharia is from shaitan. Whatever aligns with the Sharia is from Allah. Sayyidina Imam Ibn Ata'Allah touches on this first adab, and that is that we realize that we cannot cause this to happen. It's a gift from Allah. So that means for us in our own life, we leave it to Allah, alhamdulillah, but also we're careful of people who may claim to have that special kind of power, that special kind of influence, a special kind of charisma that can make al-waridat happen. That from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the Shaykh, he says, rahimahullah, قَلَّمَا تَأْتِي الْوَارِدَةُ الْإِلَهِيَّةُ إِلَى بَغْتَةً صِيَانَةً لَهَا. That usually these waridat ilahiyya, they come without any preparation. So also that means the third lesson, if you're having those feelings now, don't allow your insecurities to suffocate you. Don't be like, oh, I'm such a bad person, I'm not worthy of this. Remember the very beginning I said that each hikmah has duality, for the sinner, for the saint. So for those of us like myself who struggle with sin, say, oh, why would Allah choose me? I'm not worthy. Allah chose you, it's not your business. And for someone who's righteous, alhamdulillah, living a life which is Sharia compliant, they shouldn't also become arrogant. Oh, wow, it's because I'm so good. لا, كل من الله. الواردة الإلهية لا يأتي قلما تأتي الواردة الإلهية إلا بغتة صيانة لها لئلا يدعيها العباد بوجود الاستعداد. Because if that wasn't the case, then you would find people that would say, I'm going to do this, 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 and this will happen. I'm going to do this, 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 and Allah will do this. I'm going to do this, 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 and that will happen. But Allah is مريدا سبحانه وتعالى فعال لما يريد لا يؤثر بشيء لكنه يؤثر في كل شيء. Subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah is the one that causes all things to happen. Nothing can cause him. Nothing can stop his will. Everything is by his choice. Subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's what the Quran says. يَخْتَصُ بِرَحْمَتِهِ مَنْ يَشَاءُ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chooses. Here, bi-rahmah means Jannah, but it could mean any form of rahmah. Alhamdulillah, anything that leads to Jannah, whoever he wills. وَاللَّهُ ذُو الْفَضْلِ الْعَظِيمِ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who, chooses who he wants for those special moments. Subhanahu wa ta'ala. Some ulama, they said something beautiful. They said the reason that these things happen suddenly, without any preparation, here's some of the reasons. Number one, it's really nice. لِتُعْرَفَ مِنَّةُ اللَّهِ فِيهَا. That it's from Allah. Came out of nowhere, man. ليقدر قدرها ويعظم الفرق بها. And that someone will respect it and be pleased with it. It's from Allah. It's from no one else, subhanahu wa ta'ala. الغيرة عليها وتعزيزها لأن ما كان من عزيز لا يكون إلا عزيزا. And that, you will have an attachment to it, like a protective attachment to it, and you will understand its worth because it's from Aziz, subhanahu wa ta'ala. So like three nice sort of hikam, قال أهل العلم يعني في إتيانها بغتة ثلاثة أمور. Like coming suddenly, the reason these things happen without any type of preparation or announcement is, number one, it's from Allah. Number two, your happiness will be sincere. This is from Allah. And number three, you'll look after it. You'll protect it. You'll look after it because it has value. We'll stop here. Barakallahu feekum. We're going to continue in this vein in the next lesson, talking about, in our own space, how we should be careful communicating perhaps gifts that Allah has given us, and then also how we can evaluate people that may be out there trying to amplify and exhibit those gifts. Jazakumullahu khairan. Wa sallallahu wa sallam ala Sayyidina Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.